report.
Now it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great.
Yes, cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer-mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
It's game on.
Game on.
Game on.
Car.
Hey, it's Toker.
Game on.
It's Toker Talk Radio. And I'm Radical Russ. That's Brian the Red.
Hey.
We're hanging out. We got something special for you coming up after this next break. My interview with Rocker T. From the Oregon Medical Marijuana Business Conference, where Brian has taken the time to sync up awesome audio with awesome video.
That's what I do.
So we got a situation right now where we got a camera that takes awesome video, and then we got a camera that does awesome audio. We need one camera that does both.
Well, we were using the one that gets awesome audio and video, but the audio on it was picking up the room.
Yes.
And you had the directional mics from the board, which was better, awesome audio.
Which we didn't feed into the camera, which we could have, but...
No, not this one.
Oh, that doesn't have the input on it. That's right.
It's got a line out, but not a line in.
Oh, no. But anyway, so we'll have that interview of Rocker T coming up right after the next break, and then we'll do our 20 after and have some fun and hang out. There was another story that I didn't get in the news, and it was this story, Colorado kids getting into parents' pot-laced goodies. And they're saying the Rocky Mountain Poison Control Center reports a statistically significant rise in the number of patients calling the poison control hotline to report their kids had consumed marijuana. While the numbers remain small, about 70 cases last year, they have been rising consistently since marijuana became more available in Colorado in about 2009. In the 5 years before commercially manufactured marijuana edibles became widely available in 2009, they treated nobody for a pot-laced edible. After 2009, dispensaries started popping up. That's when they said they saw a whole lot more here. Now, a spokesperson for Dixie Elixirs said, well, there's a level of discretion and education and frankly tenacity on the behalf of parents that has to occur. If you leave pot lying around, kids are going to find it. And I'm glad that they came back with that response, because it's really at the heart of this, right? It's that, okay, back in the day, when marijuana was completely illegal, one benefit you could say about marijuana prohibition is it really incentivized you to put your shit away, right? It really incentivized that protocol to make sure there's no weed lying around, no pokers or ashtrays. We want to make sure if somebody walked in the house, nobody would know that we were pot smokers, right? Or you kept it in the garage, right? Yeah. You kept it in the high shelf away from the kids, right?
The high shelf.
There you go.
No, yeah, that's true. Back before it was more widely accepted, everybody did a little better job to keep things put away, but go into any, person's house that takes multiple prescriptions. I'm sure they're sitting on their nightstand.
Yeah, and that needs to stop too.
That shit needs to stop too. That's what I'm saying. We need to be more well regulated with all of our substances.
There's a great campaign that they're using with the person at the medicine cabinet, the mirrored medicine cabinet, and then the mirror changes to the teenager and is like, what are your kids getting into in your medicine cabinet? Same idea.
Yep. Well, it's shit, even when I was growing up, they had parties where, all the teenage kids would get together after grabbing a few random pills from their parents', cabinet. They would get to the party, throw them all into a bowl, and then they would stir it up, and everybody would grab a couple pills and just have a night.
Fun.
Yeah. I never participated in that, but, I was aware of it.
And me, I'd be the dummy. He'd end up getting like the statin. Like a penicillin or something. Oh, this sucks.
You get the birth control pill.
That's awful. What's wrong? Why are my breasts tender?
Tic Tac tastes horrible.
What's going on here? But no, I mean,
that's true. It's very true that we need to be a lot more self-conscious about where we're keeping these types of, influential substances. Really, you need to. It takes small adjustments, somebody like me who's only got cats running around in their room, I can leave my bong out, it's like, I can leave my ashtray, they know not to knock my shit over.
Yeah.
But, if I had kids coming over to my house, then
story.
I would put that stuff away. I've got a little locking cabinet that I have, near my
and it's
stereo,
contingent upon our community to start setting that as a norm.
Yeah.
As a like
that needs to be the standard.
For us to be like, dude, why are you leaving your shit all around? You got kids.
Yeah.
Right? We need to kind of take offense at it. Like, don't you know your kids getting it? Oh, my kids know better. Bullshit.
Well, I did know better, but that's because my parents my father told me what they were. We had conversations from the time I was like 5 years old on what these things were, and that they were very specifically not for me, and I was cool with that. He told me the truth. I respected him for it. When the kid asks about something and you hurriedly try and hide it, or you just pass it off like, oh, it's adult stuff. Don't worry about it. It's adult stuff. That doesn't teach the kid any damn thing. He's just going to be like, oh, well, I'm a year older than I was last year. It's my birthday. I'm going to try some adult stuff.
Exactly.
I never know what's going to happen. So,
all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, like I mentioned earlier, we will have our Rocker T interview that we did live at the Oregon Medical Marijuana Business Conference in Eugene just this last Saturday.
Yep.
Or was it Sunday?
It was Sunday.
Sunday.
And then next week we'll have some great audio from the concert.
Awesome.
He performed at.
Stay tuned for it. Coming up next.
The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at RadicalRuss.com.
The law offices of Omar Figueroa would like to remind you to stand up for your rights. Please do not give up your precious liberties. There's nothing wrong with standing up for our constitutional rights, and in fact, it's the best way to honor the Constitution that recognizes our natural rights. Treat law enforcement with respect and respect the Constitution by standing up for your rights. If you are detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search and seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to speak with my attorney, Omar Figueroa. Omar Figueroa has more than a decade of experience in federal and California courts and graduated from Yale University, Stanford Law School, and Trial Lawyers College. Please contact the law offices of Omar Figueroa at 415-489-0420 or 707-829-0215 or on the web at omarfigueroa.com. Welcome back. We are here at the Oregon Medical Marijuana Business Conference at the Eugene Hilton, and tonight we're going to be having a social mixer that features music from this artist who has joined us here at the booth. It's Rocker T in the house. How you doing?
What's up, Russ? Big up. Respect. Big up.
Thank you so much. We play a lot of your music on Red Eyes Reggae Flashback, so it's always good to hear you here. How did you get involved with this event?
Alex brought me. I was at the Ashland event, and Alex asked me to come and be a part of this also. So gonna be rocking with DJ Crown. I was rocking with DJ Ziggy Masta.
Yeah.
At the other one, at the previous one, and now we got DJ Crown, who's local here to Eugene, big DJ in town.
That'll be
and
great.
So I'm glad to be in town, and it happens to be my 45th birth strong on Monday.
Really?
So Alex was like, we got to do this. You got to be a part of this. So I'm a part of this, and I'm really happy.
That's awesome.
Yes, I respect. I'm glad to be here.
What do you think about all this? The industry developing, medical marijuana growing, and possibly legalizing in Oregon?
Yeah, and even to like decriminalization points finally, where people are talking about just let adults. It's chives. It's parsley.
Really. It's parsley. There you go.
Yes, so I think it's great.
Excellent.
I think it's great. I think, I know so many people whose lives have changed because of it, whether just their personal situation about what they do as a liberty or as a profession, or even just the health situation of so many people, especially with things now advancing faster and being recognized, say, like, Ganja Gupta and things like this.
Yeah.
So
he's opened a lot of eyes, though, hasn't he?
And it's changed some mainstream thought processes. And I think I saw it was the National Review even said that it's entirely pointless to like keep marijuana in the drug war scheme. That it's just like ridiculous.
That's good
waste
news.
of American money, and that's pretty conservative.
Yeah, National Review.
Very influential.
No kidding.
So there's a lot going on, and it's beautiful.
Now, Rocker T, a lot of people love your music, love following what you do. What's been happening on the musical tip for you? Been touring a lot? You have albums coming out?
I've been touring a lot. I've been in Oregon a lot.
Yeah.
And I released a whole bunch of music last year, and I've got another EP coming out next month, April 22nd, and I got another album coming out by June, also this year. And I have a single called Real Singer Smoker that's out right now. I'll be performing it tonight.
Right on.
And that's out now, and that's hitting pretty hard. That's doing really well. Excellent. And some other new tunes that aren't released, I'll be performing as well. So that's mostly what I spend most of my time practicing healing, practicing breath work, energy work, and I apply that to music because I've been all about music just intuitively and naturally since I'm born and young. So I've always just been training, just learning and growing.
That's excellent. I was just pulling up our musical library. We got 22 of your tracks from various. Nice. We got you with King Django. We got you with the Virgin City Rockers, Tony Hill. You work with a lot of good people. You got more of those kind of collaborations coming up?
Yes. The EP that I'm dropping, I've got Jamalski on there. I've got some friends that I grew up rhyming with. I got some friends that I recently met on it. Cuddy Ranks is on it. Mm-hmm. A really great singer that I know, Micah Montgomery, is also on it. And then on the album, I got Marlon Asher. And on the previous album I released first year, Rankin Joe is on there. Joan Baez is on there. I definitely have more collaborations in the works too.
Yeah, and you've been working with
other people.
You've been putting
I like
music.
to keep it.
Oh yeah.
Until the tune is complete.
Till you're sure.
You say, we have a song. Yeah. But those are all. Every name you just heard is tunes that I've produced and I'm going to be releasing or I have already released.
Sure. And you've been doing this for a long time. I'm sure you go back to the days of cassettes out of the back of the van and,
yes.
and home pressed CDs even. What's it like now as an artist working with all this digital, all this MP3? I mean, some artists kind of don't like that, it's so easy and downloadable and all that. But what do you think?
There is that side of it, and there's not much of revenue. We don't earn so much from the sales of our music necessarily like we did at one time. There were other times when that was really up there. But I find, not being totally overground, not being a Clear Channel artist or anything like that,
sure.
I find that this allows the music that I'm part of to reach so many people, and I can contact and communicate and musically spread energy and good things really, really kind of easily nowadays.
Yeah.
And I think there's many independent and many grassroots and many even even some very large groups and very famous artists prefer this platform, and I give a lot of my music away for free. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I give thanks for the people who download it or want to buy the hard copy, or bother me that I didn't press some vinyl yet, because I'm gonna for some of the stuff that I've been releasing over the last 2 years. There will be vinyl, I promise, and eventually. And you know, there's a lot of I've gotten to more DJs. I have a lot of people that I just get my music to, and so I really appreciate of it. And I think that it's good. You know, not everyone can still do it. You need internet, you need computers, you need these things, or require is probably a better word. But it's not like you have to be signed to a major label to get your music across the world anymore.
That's right.
And that's evolution, I think, for sure. That's some serious communication evolution of bringing people closer together.
Yeah, I feel you there. That's good.
I met people in Indonesia and China online, and Thailand and different parts of the world. I got a DJ in Madagascar I sent all my music to.
Yeah.
And he played, my music's playing in Madagascar, never before. And it would have happened with just phones or just the mail or just records. That would have happened, but this is how it happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to hate on it or fight it. I love it, and I'll use it and not abuse it.
Now, as things evolve, you know, we're having more and more states pass medical laws, and a couple states are legal now. Uruguay is going to be legal. Oregon and Alaska could be legal by the end of the year. Do you think that the legalization of marijuana builds your audience? Do more people come into the music, or were they already there and they're just waiting for it to get legal?
I mean, I have a brave audience.
They're already there.
Already been there for a long time. But there are some people now who come to the party and they're more relaxed.
Yeah.
There's like, we all have friends who bring their friends.
Sure.
And now their friends are not so like,
there's a joint in the crowd.
I'm at the ganja party. Now they're like, hey,
it's a ganja
I'm at the ganja party. So it's beautiful.
That's awesome.
People's preconceived notions and some of people's hang-ups, and some people had a condition. Well, it's not legal. That was their only condition.
Right.
It's against the law, and you shouldn't break the law.
Right.
Or, I don't really think it's good for people. Well, we're showing it's good for people.
Good for some, yeah.
And in plenty of places, it's not against the law.
Yeah.
So, are you still hating? And they're like,
and why?
Not really. Like, I kind of don't have reasons to.
There you go.
For a lot of people, those were their reasons. So that's changing fast too. Where it's like, well, I'm not into it, but I'm not gonna be all, hard on everybody else now, because obviously it's an American pastime.
It is. It's becoming more and more recognized.
It's an international pastime.
Absolutely.
It's a Rastafarian pastime.
I hear
but
that.
I was speaking in context.
Yes,
yeah.
sir. All right. Well, Rocker T, if people want to find you on the internet and want to find your music, want to find out where you're playing, can you give them that info?
Yes, it's easy to find me for sure. I'm on Facebook, Rocker-T. I'm on the web too. I have a website, rocker-t.com, and I'm on Twitter, The Real Rocker T.
Is there a fake Rocker T out there on Twitter?
There were so many people that, and no one uses them. They just grabbed them up.
I hate that.
I can't. I've contacted some of these people. There's 15 Rocker T's in Mexico on Facebook, and they only made the sites so they could post videos of shows they were at of mine. They don't do anything else except.
Well,
so it's like,
right.
I'm not going to be like, oh, but yeah, I did have to. My Twitter does have to be The Real Rocker T. My YouTube channel is The Real Rocker T.
Okay.
But my Instagram is Rocker TEE.
All right.
And so I don't stay totally active like insane with that stuff, but I stay regular. and I have fun, and it's good communication, I think. Yeah.
All right. Find out more about Rocker T through all those outlets, Facebook and internet, and it's great tunes. We're going to play some of them, and we'll just enjoy. So thanks for joining us.
Big up Radical Russ every time.
Yeah.
Big up my man Brian in the house.
Right.
Yes, all the massive out there listening. Thank y'all for listening, for real. And be blessed and be well. May we all do better, and may we all learn and evolve and learn to share properly and take care.
Yes,
That was great.
Yes, That's my man there. That's my brethren. Rocket T. Check him out. He's got some truly crucial sounds and lyrics.
Yeah, we'll come back with some right after this break.
Excellent.
Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man.
And after these dabs.
Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
Cannabis Outreach Collective is an alternative health and wellness option located in Gladstone, Oregon, that serves patients in the Portland area and beyond. We are a full-service alternative health and wellness collective accommodating patients with natural, organic, holistic, and homeopathic remedies, nutritional guidance, advice, education, and medical cannabis, fully in accordance with Oregon OMMP law. You can find out more about Cannabis Outreach Collective on Facebook at COC503 or by emailing cannabisoutreachcollective503@gmail.com or by telephone at 503-853-1319. Check out our menu on Weed Maps and visit Cannabis Outreach Collective today. Adam Hand of Handmade Apparel produces quality custom designs for t-shirts, hats, and other apparel. Handmade Apparel is the official design shop for 420 Radio, The Russ Belville Show, Ganja John, and Cascadia Concentrates, among many clients who rely on Adam Hand for everything from short-run custom projects to full-run clothing lines. Adam's meticulous designs are individually crafted and screened in vibrant, high-definition color. Visit handmadeapparel.biz to browse the selection of handmade gear or to get a personal quote for your own designs. Handmade Apparel, a proud supporter of 420radio.org.
Let 'em bring in the beat.
I like it like that.
Well, I don't know what you came to do, but what we came to keep the funk alive.
That's right, baby. We're keeping the funk alive right here at Big Daddy Fink's Funky Roller Ring, your groovy home of soul, funk, and disco. So join me, Big Daddy, every Thursday night at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific at the Funky Roller Ring, where every night is Saturday night.
Blessed love. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, it's Rocker T again. He's a disciple. Yeah, 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 yeah. I listen, I say the first. Say that religion is personal and spirituality is a choice, you know? So how good and how pleasant it is to hide the taint and Satan as we come together.
Welcome back, everybody. That's music from Rocker T, Ganja Progress. Big thanks to Rocker T for sitting down with us and for putting on a great show in a kind of a impromptu venue there on Sunday.
Yeah, that is not the size of venue that I'm used to seeing him.
It was nice and intimate.
The last time I saw him at a venue that was like that small was back in his earlier days when he was first rolling through, Portland and Washington, But
something else.
But that Ganja Progress, that's off of I ripped that off of a light yellow 45. It was the gold. He put out 3 single tracks on 45s, and one was red, one was green, one was gold. That was the gold track, Ganja Progress.
Right on. Well, in other news, we've got Big Daddy Fink's Funky Roller Rink tonight. Got a new episode. And this new episode is the Isaac Hayes experience. Now, Isaac Hayes, of course, legendary funk master.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know him as Chef from South Park.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, children.
Hello, children. So, I was in Georgia when Big Daddy Fink was putting this together, and we were laughing because
you were playing the Chef game.
Yeah, he did play the South Park Stick of Truth.
Game.
That was pretty good. I don't think Chef's in it. Is Chef in it?
No, he wouldn't be in it because of the
lab.
Yeah,
right. So
departing
because they made fun of Scientology. But anyway,
did you see the one, the Return of Chef? It's like
I saw it all. But anyway, we were laughing about this next episode coming up because Big Daddy Fink's Funky Roller Rink, the Isaac Hayes experience, because being that it's Isaac Hayes, there's 4 tunes. Because he writes these 12-minute
because every song can just drone on and on and on
12
and
minutes
on,
long.
and on and on
So,
all night long.
It's going to be good. Check it out tonight.
It's good
8
stuff.
p.m. Pacific time, Big Daddy Fink's Funky Roller Rink. And we're still working on our idea of taking the Funky Roller Rink to an actual roller rink. We were talking with Green Kim, who reminded us that Oaks Park has a roller rink, and they often rent it out for private parties.
Well, you know, something else, there's local roller derby.
We've got that too, yeah.
You know, Funky Roller Rink roller derby. That might be good.
That might be a lot of fun. I don't know how we'd do that, but
yeah.
But anyway, in the news today, we were talking about this lottery that they're going to have, because they had 2,100 people apply for the retail licenses, right? And this is where, like, the way government does things sometimes, it
just makes my head hurt.
It's like, are you guys thinking about what you're saying here? Because let me get you to the point that, okay, so first of all, here's your problem. You got 2,100 applications for 334 retail licenses. Okay. So you've got, 6 times the number that you need. You got more than 6.
Easily 6 times.
More than 6 times as many, right? So for every 1 license you give out, 5 people are going to be disappointed. So they're going to hold lotteries April 21st to 25th. Now, it does make a difference, and it's not even as bad. Let me restate that. It's not necessarily as bad as a 6-to-1 thing, because it's on a county and city basis, right?
Oh, okay.
And the way I-502 is laid out is they lay out a certain number of pot shops that can exist in King County, certain number that, like 34 can exist in King County, I think it is.
Yeah, depending on the population.
Right. How many can exist in this county, how many can this and that county. And it's likely there's probably a whole lot more applications for retail licenses in cities like, King County, Seattle and all, than there would be in some, Skagit County way the hell out there where nobody's living, right? So if you're one of the guys that applied for a license in, Timbuktu, Washington, there probably is a Timbuktu, Washington. But anyway, if you applied for one of them out there in the middle of nowhere,
in the boonies,
there's a chance that, there's only 1 license to be given out. There might have been only 1 person applied for it. Well, then there's no lottery going to apply to you.
Yeah.
This is going to apply to the people who all want to get their pot shop in Seattle and Spokane, Tri-Cities.
On that green strip.
Right. So it may be worse than a 6-to-1 ratio, especially if you're talking Seattle. There might be 20 people applying for every 1 possible license.
There could be 50 people applying.
So this is what they want to do here is they want to do a lottery. Okay, so we're just going to randomly select. And the way it's going to work is they say a random order will be generated by Washington State University. So that tells me they're going to take the 2,100 applications and randomize them. And then we'll start going. And so you'd think that, okay, well, this randomization, what that would mean, right, is that the first 200 or the first 334 that are picked are the ones that get the licenses. But that's not how it's going to work, because the next line says the winners will be given priority in the issue of licenses, but they'll still have to pass financial investigations and meet other requirements before the board actually issues any licenses. So what they're going to do is they're going to randomize the order of the 2,100 people.
So it's not.
And they're going to go through them, trying to disqualify them, finding out which ones get disqualified because they don't pass the finances, they don't pass the other requirements. And they'll go through that list until they get the 334 accurate ones. So how far do they get through the list, right? Well, if the list gets randomized and let's say most of the people fulfilled the requirements, they might only make it 400 deep into the list before they've given away all the licenses. But if a lot of people sucked in filling out their requirements and they didn't really follow the paperwork or the instructions, and there's a lot of rejections, who knows? Maybe they get 1,000 deep into the list before they, give out all the retail licenses. So this bothers me in that, one, why not restrict the lottery to only those people who can pass the financial requirements and can pass the other requirements? Why start with the pool of 2,100, randomize them, and then pick 334? Why not start with the pool of 2,100, winnow out all the ones who don't qualify, and then randomize the ones that are left?
Yeah.
This kind of bugs me, because if you're one of these guys, and you find out that you're in position, 2,000, there's no chance in hell you're going to get one. And the other thing that bothers me about this is the idea of using random number determination to pick who are going to be the best people to move this industry forward and to be, pot shop licensees, to have the white hot spotlight of national media shining down on them. One guy who fulfills the requirements, financially and, regulatory wise, versus another one who also fulfills the requirements, could be two different guys. Could be one guy who's really media savvy, really has been a part of activism for years and years and years. The other guy could just be some carpetbagger coming in, trying to make a buck, right? Mm-hmm. But random luck may pick the carpetbagger over the guy who would be best for our movement.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like about this lottery idea.
You'd think that they would have some kind of grandfathering in, but they don't have dispensaries, unfortunately, so they don't have a system set up like that. They don't even have the pseudo dispensary system that we lived with in Oregon for the last 4 years.
Yeah, and that's a situation where, in Colorado, when they were figuring out how the first recreational pot shop license would go, you could only get one if you were already a medical dispensary.
Exactly, and that was a good thing. I think that the lack of regulation in Washington's bills, medical bills over the years, is going to be a detriment to their recreational market as a whole.
So you might have had
because they've for so long been resistant to registries and all of the things that have led up to this.
Oh yeah, and you may have, and on the other hand, you might have some good actors. You might have really good, responsible, altruistic people who are helping patients, running a decent business, paying their taxes, etc. But because they don't legally exist, they've got no footing, they got no standing, they're no better off than the guy who's just coming in to make a buck now that it's legal. And that sucks for them. They should have gotten some sort of precedent, some sort of benefit, maybe a higher seeding in the random number lottery. Some benefit points, affirmative action for dispensaries, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But they couldn't because technically they don't exist. Legally, they don't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
That's just sad.
I know. And, and it's because they were so resistant to certain aspects of the law and they didn't fight to include other aspects. So they should have seen that the recreational market was coming.
Yeah. And then a lot of it also has to do with, the legislators in Washington haven't been... A lot of it is them also not getting around regulations. And then when they did finally get around regulations, the governor gets all scared and line item vetoes them. So, you can't lay it all at the foot of activists. But, there's opposing things like a registry. That right there.
That was a big mistake.
That right there could have eliminated so many headaches. But
yeah.
Anyway, you know how people get sometimes.
Whatever.
All right. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take your calls at 971-533-7111, and we'll have more to talk about regarding the latest news in marijuana legalization, as we always do here on Toker Talk Radio.
It's simply business. It's simply business. It's simply business, why they won't let us grow. It's simply business.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
It's simply business. It's simply business. It's simply business, you know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business. It's simply business, you know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business.
I'm Sub Cool from Team Green Avenger. At TGAgenetics.com, we are working on the leading edge of medical strains. Our strains are rigorously tested for THC, CBD, THCV, and other critical cannabinoids. Know your grow. Check out our genetic diversity at TGAgenetics.com, the home of Jelly Bean, Jack the Ripper, Vortex, and other award-winning cannabis strains.
Support the Russ Belville Show. Text the word Russ to 420-420 and connect with the National Cannabis Coalition. You can also send $10 to the Russ Belville Show right from your smartphone. That's Russ to 420-420.
In the afternoon, if I'm home, I smoke marijuana.
You're listening to Radical Russ on the Russ Belville Show.
Oh, marijuana, yeah, yeah. Oh, I got my ganja.
420 Radio, the world's voice of marijuana legalization.
Tokers, there's no good reason to get your dog stoned. While it might not harm them physically, imagine being a dog who already begs for treats all day, and then imagine that dog having the munchies. Not cool.
Oh why say them no praise for I, and then them drop up, and then them a go die. Say you love Jah and live, and if you hate him you die. Say me a Rastafari, a son of Selassie. You better listen, you better listen, you better listen where the roots man kicking. You better listen, you better listen, you better listen where the roots man kicking. No
Music from Rocker T again. Tell the world. Welcome back. And before that, we heard our little PSA about not getting your dog stoned, and that leads me to our next story. This was tucked into the Michelle Lenhart thing that I ranted on earlier, and I didn't add it to the rant. I could have, but it's an extra thing that we'll just take care of right now.
Side rant.
Rant. A rant corollary. Corollary. Sorry.
He just had a dab.
Messes up my thesaurus every time. And Mike Adams writes this up in High Times, did a great job on it, because he points out about how WotC is always the go-to.
What about the children?
What about the children, right?
Will someone please think of the children?
Problem lately, though, is all these kids have been on TV getting help from their PT for their epilepsy with the CBD oil.
Yeah, and then so all these other things that they're getting help with too.
It's kind of making
the cancers. Michaela, I think, helped get the ball rolling.
There you go. So there's so many kids that are being helped from it that now that doesn't seem to be the go-to anymore. I told you about Michelle Lenhart testifying at this appropriations committee as far as getting her budget right for the DEA, and how she was saying that the president's tolerance here on marijuana legalization makes her DEA agents fight even harder.
Yeah.
Fight harder against these messages. Nice to know that you got someone fighting against your own messages in your own administration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was another part, though, that I didn't include in the rant that was in her testimony. And she says this, quote, "Veterinarians now are seeing dogs come in, their pets come in, and being treated because they've been exposed to marijuana. It goes back to the edibles. It goes back to the products that are in the household that are now made from marijuana, and it's impacting pets." End
oh,
quote.
No.
Okay, so she's pulling this. It's not out. Actually, it's not out of the department of her ass, but it's actually from a 2012 study that USA Today pointed out, and some articles that were in USA Today, that more dogs in Colorado and Washington have been getting into their owner's stash.
And we've covered this.
We've covered this, right? So here's the facts on this, and this comes from Time magazine from January of earlier this year. It says, no, there's not a marijuana pet poisoning epidemic. The Animal Poison Control Center, which is a part of the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or ASPCA, said it received approximately 320 calls about marijuana poisonings in 2013. 320 nationwide, compared to the 213 calls received in 2009.
Yeah.
So 4 years later, there was a 50% spike, and that made NBC News proclaim, "This is your dog on drugs." But it's all a matter of perspective. This is the same kind of thing they do when they point out, like, smoking marijuana doubles your risk for testicular cancer. Well, here's the thing. Your risk for testicular cancer is a very, very small risk, especially for a woman. But it's a very small risk. And so doubling this really, really small risk makes it a really, really small risk. It's kind of like you buy a lottery ticket for megabucks, right? And then you buy two. You've doubled your chances to win megabucks.
I don't count it that way, because that's one more chance that you're going to lose.
Or that
one
way
more
too.
Ticket, but
one
whatever.
more ticket. So the number of animal poisonings from the Animal Poison Control Center in 2013 was 180,000 or so. 180,000. So 320 came in for pot. Out of 180,000, that's 0.18% of the total. 0.18%.
Yeah,
1/5 of a percent, right?
And you realize what these dogs are being poisoned on mostly is like coolants and things left out in pans and garages.
That's what they point out. They point out the antifreeze. They say the number one is chocolate.
Yeah, well, yeah, chocolate. There you go.
So number one, chocolate, and then antifreeze is up there. Pills, painkillers, allergy medications, insecticides.
What about protecting your pets from your prescription pain meds, huh? If they're out for the dogs to get at, then they're out for children to get at, wouldn't you think?
And then Mike Hughes, I'm sorry, I said Mike Adams earlier. It's Mike Hughes that wrote this up in High Times. Closes with the point that Michelle Lenhart needs to answer for. You're all concerned about 320 dogs that went to the Poison Control Center for eating marijuana, but you don't have any stance on the absurd number of dogs killed with impunity by law enforcement during pot raids.
Yeah.
Yeah. For every one of them dogs that ate a brownie, puked, shook for a while, was a little hyper for a while, and then went to sleep, there's a dog that was shot dead in front of its owners during a drug raid.
At least one.
At least one for everyone. Gotta be.
Yeah.
And we've been following that for a while. And if you want to know about this canicide by cop, I call it, there is a Facebook group for it. And I'm going to post this in the chat room right now. But it's at facebook.com/dogs shot by police. Dogs shot by police. It's got 9,900 likes so far. And as you scroll down, it's just story after story after story. This is NBC Philadelphia. Questions about why officers shot and killed a dog. KATC, Crowley Police, internal review. No policy violations in dog shooting. Chronicle, North Coast Now. Lorraine police officer calms vicious dogs on the job at animal shelter. Let's see. Residents prepare to recall Filer mayor and city council. That's Idaho. Filer, Idaho. Who shot the dog Hooch, and disturbing evidence that was captured on dash cam video that has since gone viral. That was just in March 30th. I'm going to have to look this one up. Filer, Idaho. That's the Magic Valley. That's eastern Idaho. Protesters picket Erie police over shot dog, Erie, Pennsylvania. Yep. Titan, March 29th.
And it's sad and it's sickening.
It's just a week's worth.
And, and it's like going, that's just in the last week. It's just freaking ridiculous that, they're so worried about poisonings when, the people that we're paying our taxes to protect our, personage and property and family, which includes our four-legged family. They're just, it makes me sick, because I love animals.
Check this
I
out.
love this little guy down here.
Yeah, we got Ross Catelli in the studio.
He's pretty smelly belly right now.
He's pretty smelly.
Yeah, he's got.
Check this cartoon that's on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I've got that enlarged thing and it's messing everything up. Oh no!
Double, huh?
I'm all doubled up. Oh well. Let's try to see if we can do it with the specific area. There's the specific area. That'll work. There we go. So yeah, there's your new SWAT team shooting targets.
Training targets
in the shape of a puppy. Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, it busts people up when we talk about this. I know, because there's some reasons, like, with a dog, there's just an innocence to it.
Mm-hmm.
Where, when a human gets shot, it's weird because sometimes we'll react more to a dog getting shot than hearing some human got shot. But there's an innocence to it, to a dog shooting there that's just,
and quite a few numbers of these cases, they're service animals. They're these people's only means of, mental support, basically, physical attachment. They got PTSD. They need a comfort animal. And, then, here, we'll just go ahead and give you some more trauma.
This is, reading this from Magic Valley, Filer, Idaho. The residents are beginning a recall against the mayor and the entire city council over this. They would have filed it earlier, but the mayor had only been in office for 82 days. And there's a law that says you can't recall someone unless they've been in office for 90 days. So they had to wait another 8 days.
Oh, jeez.
That's how pissed off they are. It's Mayor Rick Dunn and council members Ruby Height, Joe Lineberry, Don Barkley, and Russell Bud Sheridan.
Well, sounds like they're all done to me.
Dunn triggered outrage among some residents March 18th when he announced at a city council meeting that Tarek Hassani, the police officer who in February fatally shot a black Labrador running loose in a West Filer neighborhood, would remain on the city payroll. Minutes later, some residents were outside City Hall making plans to recall Dunn and the 4 city councilors.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay. See, that's how we get shit done. Pull their asses from office.
That's exactly what you do. And that's local. I know a lot of people are in small towns when they're listening to me. And in a sense, you've got an advantage in a small town because you organize 10, 20 people to do some stuff in a small town.
That's like a third of the town.
Yeah, you can get a lot done. I'm going to follow up on this story, maybe see if we can find the dash cam video they're talking about here, just to give you an idea what's going on in Filer, Idaho. But yeah, that website is something else to behold, I'm telling you. I'm just still scrolling down, getting about March 26th. Walton County deputy cleared in shooting of dog. And they're always cleared.
Oh, yeah. There's no violations on their part. They were just doing their job.
And that's because their standard operating procedure gives them wide degree of latitude to shoot dogs. I mean, they get little dogs, like, shot in the back that were clearly running away. And the cops are cleared in these situations. Just remarkable. You do see a lot, you'll see some pit bulls, but not all the time. In fact, not even the majority of the time are they any sort of dog that could even reasonably remotely be considered dangerous to a guy who's holding a gun, a taser, and is sometimes armored. It's just insane. And, it's not as if we don't have government employees or pseudo-government employees that know how to deal with dogs. They're called the postmen and postwomen. The postal service, right? They get training. Like, I think it's every quarter. They get training on how to deal with menacing dogs, how to recognize when a dog is just barking versus actually menacing, effective techniques to avoid and so forth. Why don't we get that kind of training for the cops? And why is it that shooting our dogs is just standard operating procedure, but shooting their dog is killing an officer, and you can get serious felony time for it?
Yeah.
Why is that?
And when, sometimes that dog that they have is implicating you falsely for a crime.
Oh, yeah. We found that,
we found that out.
Numerous studies. We reported on that just a little while ago on how drug dogs are only reliable in a traffic stop situation 3 out of 5 times. 2 out of 5 times they're given false alerts. And we allow that as testimony, and we allow that as a probable cause for some police officer to ransack your car, leave you on the side of the road. This happens all the time. Happened in Idaho. That's why that guy is suing, that Colorado resident suing for the license plate profiling. 70-year-old guy sitting on the side of the road in rural Idaho on a cold night for a couple hours while the cops go through all your belongings because a dog told him to.
I think I found the video.
All right. We'll show you that when we come back. Stick around. It's Toker Talk Radio.
You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Marijuana and alcohol are the two most popular recreational drugs in America. Marijuana smoking is non-toxic, relatively safe, and has a low risk of dependence. Alcohol drinking is potentially fatal, dangerous to society, and is quite addictive. Marijuana is safer, so why are we driving people to drink? That's the question of the new book, Marijuana is Safer, So Why Are We Driving People to Drink? By Paul Armentano, Mason Tvert, and Steve Fox. Visit Amazon.com or ChelseaGreen.com today to order your copy of Marijuana is Safer, or visit MarijuanaIsSafer.com.
Medical Marijuana Radio, starring Larry Love from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Pacific on 420radio.org.
Ever wonder how often to change your bong water? The most effective method for baking pot brownies? The best destinations for a ganja getaway? How to hide herb in your car? Whether to grow your own? How precisely to legalize it? Or how something as wonderful as marijuana ever got to be illegal in the first place? Finally, you can find all these answers and much more in the official High Times Pot Smoker's Handbook, featuring 420 things to do when you're stoned. Since 1974, High Times magazine has covered marijuana in all its aspects and wonders, from cultivation to legalization to the herb's enduring and exalted place in popular culture. Packed with inside information, the official High Times Pot Smoker's Handbook rolls all of this collected wisdom together into a single indispensable ganja guide, including an entertaining look at marijuana's history, profiles of herb-friendly travel destinations and festivals, favorite potluck recipes from the High Times staff, smoking skills, advocacy and activism, essential marijuana movies and songs, profiles of famous cannabis strains, comprehensive growing information, celebrity endorsements, and much more. This is truly, finally, the ultimate guide to green living.
Yeah. Na 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 na. This one reaching out to all hard working ghetto people, all country people. You know life no joke, Rasta. Yeah, na 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 na. Easy Tony Hill and the one Rockety. Watch out, man, I tell you that you could never stop. Good people from rising to the top. Rockety and Tony Hill up on the one drop. Come forgive the people them all that we got. Yeah. Through the poverty we know that, the hard knocks and the stress and we feel that, the rough times and the tough life we live that, and we know how to say we know all about that. No matter where you're from, it's really about where you is at. It's all about where you act, no matter where you chat. The same food is off cooking or the same pot, and still we have to fly the ice gold, green, red and black, and still we have to come and put in at the same spot. No matter whether you a dog, whether you a cat, no matter whether you a bald head or dreadlock. Oh, let me tell you, man, you better walk your talk and talk your walk. Rising to the top, and we won't ever stop.
All right, welcome back, everybody. That's music from Rocker T and Tony Hill with Rising to the Top. All right, so this is the time where
we get pissed.
Well, we're going to get real. And so some people, that's kind of makes them queasy or makes you upset.
Okay, yeah, but so for Michelle Linhart, this is for you. This is the kind of thing you're worried about.
The poisoning of getting
by marijuana. Dogs, okay? Tell me how much of a threat this animal was.
Seeing the car that's pulled over ahead of us.
Is this your dog? Yeah. Who's the dog? Who owns it? Me! Okay. Guys don't have to yell at me. I just shot your dog because it tried to bite me. Okay? I come here for a fucking call and it tried to bite me. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. Okay? Don't bite nobody. I don't care. You're both large. Put your hand in my face again, you're gonna go to jail. Go to jail. Sit down. Sit down. Okay? You my dog. You don't. I need your ID. I need your ID. No. Sir, provide me your ID or I'm gonna take you to jail for obstructing delay. Now. Why do you now? Now, get your ID, sir. Please get me your ID. I'm not gonna ask you again.
So this continues on, and sun's gone down a bit. Another 10 minutes has passed. Officer has
made his report to his superiors and
has made the report. Now he's walking back to the house
with a citation.
Here's this back. It is an infraction. It's a $100 fine. I'm not paying it. I'm going to fight you. Okay, listen. I'm pissed. I understand. Listen. On or before the 21st, go in and plead not guilty. No, I'm going to listen. Listen. Okay? You had no right to shoot my fucking dog. Okay. Here's your citation. I'm not going to talk to you if you're going to yell. No, get the fuck out of here. Have a good day, sir. Asshole. Fucking bummer. Ain't working here. Then move.
What did he say?
He said, this town's cops ain't worth a shit. And he said, then move. The cop said, then move.
Yeah.
What the?
There you go. That's.
And we got to protect people from, we got to protect dogs from cannabis? No. I saw the dog run by on the video. This thing wasn't bigger than Roscoe and way less vicious, I assure you.
Yeah, Roscoe's a vicious creature.
Yeah.
He's
so vicious.
Vicious.
Fucking seriously.
And this is just one incident in one town.
This is one of the most recent.
Week that I pulled up at random.
Mm-hmm.
And Filer, Idaho is eastern Idaho. It's a small town. It's very agricultural based. A lot of potato farms out there.
A lot of close-knit communities.
Yeah.
Probably the neighbors had played with the dog on a regular basis. Maybe there was kids in the neighborhood that loved the dog. But this is sick, You heard the guy, the cop was like, "Oh, your dog tried to bite me, so I shot him."
Yeah, that's the response?
And that was before he even found out whose dog it was, And it's like, it's sickening.
Just sad to me that shoot the dog is the initial response to it might bite me, rather than tase the dog. I mean, you got tasers.
They've got mace.
It's
like, I had a frickin' Yorkshire Terrier that a stupid-ass mailman maced before. This thing was this frickin' big. It wasn't going to hurt nobody.
But it still lived.
But it still lived, at least. It's not, some traumatic incident in my life now, at this point.
And yet when you try to get ASPCA or PETA or any of these animal rights groups to focus on this, they don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole because it's the cops and it's drugs and whatever.
Well, it's not even drugs, it's the cops. In this case, there was no drugs involved, no reason. The cop got called in because there was a dog wandering around. That's the only reason the cop got called.
It's a shame. We're going to keep fighting it until it stops. And again, remember, the fight is about freedom. Marijuana is just the battlefield right now. And when we get it legalized, we'll see that people and dogs aren't terrorized by cops. We'll end drug testing. There's a whole lot we still have to do. But for right now, let's all band together and get this plant legal. Let's end that probable cause. Let's put drug dogs out of business for sniffing weed. That'll lead to a whole lot less harassment to start with. And then we'll tackle the rest. For Brian the Red, I'm Radical Russ. Thanks for joining us. Jorge Cervantes is next. And until next time, take care of each other, Tokers. Oh, and don't forget, Big Daddy Funky Roller Ring
tonight.
We got Isaac Hayes Experience, 8 p.m. Pacific Time. See you later.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed.